Hi children, welcome to grade 4 English and this is our session 4 in chapter 4 How Jack Went Out to Seek His Fortune. And in today's session we are going to summarize the story. And before getting into our session, let's do an energizer. Children, here there is a letter grid, right? And with the help of the letters in this grid, you have to find out as many words as you can. And one thing you should keep in mind is that you have to make meaningful words, right? And children, your time starts now. I hope you have made lot of words, right? And post all your words in grade 4 English Google Classroom. And now let's recall the story how Jack went out to seek his fortune. Once there was a boy named Jack and he started from his home to seek his fortune. He hadn't gone very far. He met a cat. A cat wanted to join him and he accepted the cat and they walked the more the merrier, jihalti jol, jihalti jol, jihalti jol. And after some time they met a dog and the dog also wanted to join Jack. Jack accepted the dog also. And now Jack, the cat and the dog, they walked the more the merrier, jigalti jol, jihalti jol, jihalti jol. As Jack went a little farther, a goat, a rooster and a bull came along with him and they also wanted to join him. And the Jack and his companions, they all walked very happily and merrily saying jihalti jol, jihalti jol, jihalti jolt. And they went on jigalti jolting till it was about dark, and during that time they have to find a place to stay, that is spend the night. And now they saw a house. Jack told his companions to keep quiet and still when he went up and looked in through the window to see if all was safe there inside the house. And while he was seeing there, he saw a band of robbers seated at a table counting great bags of gold. Now in this picture, you can see Jack walking together with his companions, that is cat, dog, goat, rooster and the bull. Yes? Yeah. And now after seeing that bags of gold, Jack wanted to make it for himself, so that he thought that gold shall be mine and I have found my fortune already. Then he went back to his companions and told them to wait till he gave a signal, then to make all the noise they possibly could in their own fashion. And Jack gave the signal and all the animals made a very terrific hubbub. The cat meowed, the dog barked, the goat bleated, the bull bellowed and the rooster crowed, and altogether they made a very heavy noise that made the robbers get frightened, and they jumped up in fright and ran away, leaving their gold on the table. And after a good laugh, Jack and his companions, they went inside the house and took possession of the house and the gold. And now Jack was a very wise boy. He thought that the robbers would come back for sure in search of their gold. And so he made a plan. He planned for keeping the cat in the rocking chair and put the dog under the table, put the goat upstairs, put the bull in the cellar and bade the rooster fly up onto the roof. Then he went to bed. And in the dead of the night, the robbers sent one man to the house to look for their money. But before long, he came back in a great fright and told them a fearsome tale. And now let's see what happened inside their house. Yes? And that man told the group of robbers, I went back to the house and I went in and tried to sit down in the rocking chair. there was an old woman knitting there and she attacked me with her knitting needles. And we all know that was a cat, right? Yeah. And then I went to the table to look for the money. There was a shoemaker who stuck me with the help of his awl. That is a tool which is used to make some holes. And we all know that it was nothing but the dog. So I started to go upstairs and there was a man up there who was threshing. And he knocked me down with the help of his flail. Yeah, flail is a tool which help us in separating grains from the crops. Yes, and that was none other than the goat. Yes, we know that, right? Yeah. And then I started to go down to the cellar, but there was a man down there chopping wood and he knocked me down with the help of his axe, and that was the bull, as we all know, right? But I shouldn't have minded all that, but I saw an awful little fellow on the top of the house by the kitchen chimney, and he was kept on hollering, that is shouting, cook him in a stew, cook him in a stew, cook him in a stew. So I got frightened, and who was there? Yes, there was the rooster which keep on shouting cock-a-doodle-doo. And on hearing such horrible tale by the person who visited that house, the robbers agreed that there was something in that house and they would rather lose their gold than meet with such a fate. And after that they ran off. The next morning Jack went home very happily and cheerfully with all his companions and the booty, and each of the animals carried a portion of it. The cat hung a bag of gold on its tail, keeping it very stiff, and the dog on his collar, the goat and the bull on their horns. But Jack made the rooster carry a golden guinea in order to prevent it from calling all the time cock-a-doodle-doo, cook him in a stew. And children, I hope you all like this story, right? It's really interesting and funny. Now it's time to summarize. Children, in your English note, you can summarize what you have learned from the story and what are the main points you gathered from the story. Clear, children? Yeah. And after summarizing it, you can post it in grade 4 English Google Classroom. Now let us see what moral you have learned from the story, and that is hard work and smart savings always leads to our own fortune in life. It's not only other things, but we should work hard and also we should save smartly so that it always leads to our own fortune or wealth in our life. Clear, children? And home assignment for today's session. In your concept book, page number 59 and 60. Sixth question, what did Jack do to keep the robbers away during the night? Seventh one is, why did the robbers decide to leave the booty there? And eighth one, what did Jack do with the booty? Children, read the story carefully and thoroughly once or twice so that you will be clear with all the points in the story, and it will be easy for you to summarize and as well as answer all these questions for home assignment. And children, next you are going to create a colorful poster on describing what you have learned from the story. The Jack went out to seek his fortune. You have to make an innovative and colorful poster regarding the story and what you have learned from it. Hand in your completed home assignment in grade 4 English Google Classroom. Children, drink more water, eat healthy food, reduce your screen time, give adequate rest to your eyes, don't use mobile phones and television often, eat healthy, and stay home and stay safe, children. Thank you so much.